engineering, management, computer architecture, and computer science. And more than 486 engineer colleges are affiliated to us, and more than 4 lakh plus students are affiliated to us. So basically, this center is Design Innovation Center is funded by the MHRD. So I'm not taking much time, and today's we have a eminent speaker with us, Dr. Saurabh Roy sir. So Dr. Saurabh Roy sir has received his MTech degree from the NIT Agartala, India, in the Department of Electronics and Engineering. He has completed his PhD from the National Institute of Technology, Silchar. He is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication at VIIT, Vishakhapatnam, India, and he is the author of more than 20 reputed journals and conferences. He is also reviewer of the International Journal of RF and CAD, IET Communications, Applied Physics, later, etc. His research interests include the material antenna, MIMO antenna, wearable antenna, and so on. So welcome Saurabh, welcome Saurabh bhai, sir. I hand over mic to you. Sir, please continue your session.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Saurabh Roy. Sir, thank you, sir, for inviting me as a speaker in your university. So let's see some new thing regarding antenna. So based on the audience, I kept my slide like this. There is some research part as well as some basic part also there. So hope you people will enjoy the session. So shall I start, sir?
Yes, sir, please.
My screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Okay. I just hide. Okay. So the topic is, actually sir suggested that topic. So topic is recent trends on antenna. So antenna is we can say the heart of wireless communication. So without antenna, there are so many applications is not possible. So first started the history of wireless communication. So or history of microwave engineering, history of electromagnetic, so many things are parallelly going on. So first, the great, everyone is aware about him, that Maxwell. So he arranged that four law that is called Maxwell law. So that law, Gauss law for electric field, Gauss law for magnetic, Faraday's law, and Ampere's Maxwell. So, but he did not prove it practically. So later on, another scientist, his name is Heinrich Hertz, validated the Maxwell theory practically. So based on his work, whatever in our domain, so we see the unit of the frequency is Hertz. So after that, in 1895, our Indian scientist, Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose, first public demonstration of millimeter wave. So we can say that Sir is the pioneer of our millimeter wave engineering. So those research is now going on, millimeter wave and other things. So Sir, whatever Jagadish Chandra Bose sir did in his own apparatus, but whatever he did, that is for short range communication. So later on, the great scientist Marconi first transatlantic radio communication over a distance of 2000 miles from Yukon to Newfoundland. So that is the long distance communication. So earlier Jagadish Chandra Bose sir did short range communication, but Marconi sir did a long range communication. So those are the basic history of the wireless communication. Apart from those great scientists, there are so many other scientists also associated with this, and this field now rapidly growing from past 2-3 decades we have seen. Now, coming to the content of our seminar, so first we discuss about the antenna. We'll see how the electromagnetic wave is produced. Then we'll go for some recent trends on antenna. What are the metamaterial antenna? What is metamaterial? Later on, we'll go for wearable antenna. Those are now we are using wearable antenna in our wearable technology or we are using modern day, what are the disadvantage, what are the effect. Later on, we'll see some MIMO antenna, multiple input, multiple output antenna, and we'll see the important aspect of electromagnetic radiations. So how we can avoid the things, what are the electromagnetic radiations are there. So those are the content of our seminar. So first, antenna. So antenna is the heart of wireless communication. It works as a transducer which converts electric signal into electromagnetic signal. Application antenna uses a wide range. Nowadays, every single person carry 2 or 3 antenna at a time. We have seen different application bands we are using like WLAN, Bluetooth. So all have distinct different frequency purpose antenna. So in every devices, whatever in mobile phone also there are 2, 3, 4 antennas are there. So antenna basically whenever we are designing or we are using basically two types are there. One is commercial and another one is defense or military application. For commercial application, cost is the important function. If it is low cost and high application, then it is good. But for military application, cost does not matter. Now, first start how the electromagnetic wave is generated. So here you can visualize that time varying electric field created magnetic field and time varying magnetic field also created electric field. So those electromagnetic wave is generated. So after generating the electromagnetic, so this one antenna is seen. So here it is transmitted like a wireless communication. So it transmitted its distance based on distance is transmitted from one point to the another point. Now revolution in communication. So whenever we'll see last before 20 years back, so those type of mobile phone we have seen. So here this part is regarded to the antenna, but day by day whenever we'll see this part is remote. So where this part gone? So earlier days it is a dipole type of antenna, it's like patching, but nowadays it is available in the inside the device. So air antenna is integrated in that devices. So whenever we see the earlier application of mobile, so we are using for calling purpose for one point to the another point distance, but nowadays the mobile is basically used for basically data, internet and other things. We have seen we can call through data also. So nowadays bandwidth and antenna purpose is also more. So that is the revolution of mobile. So earlier days also revolution of antenna engineering, and as a designer of antenna there are so many constraint is coming nowadays because space is limited, but you can use multiple application, bandwidth should be high. So many things are there. Now coming to the application. So that is the one IoT system, ecosystem I have shown. There are so many things are connected internet. So that is one of the well-known things, but how those people are, how those things are connected internally, that is through the antenna. We are transmitting information from one point to the another point. So one of the important part, if it is not able to transmit the data, then how can we can connect those things. So there is a lot of opportunity in future also. So designer expect the IoT system, IoT based antenna and other things. Now coming to other application. So there is some radar and target devices are there. So which are used to transmit the signal as well as receive the signal. Based on those signal, we can track the ranges. So here I have seen that that is the recently joined Indian aircraft one radar, and that is also a marine radar system. So that is the scanning things. If the scanning area or ranges of that we can increases, then the effectiveness of that devices is increases. Now coming to the antenna types. So those are around us. We have seen these antenna, then there is the dipole antenna, other antennas also used in the. So those are the antenna types used in our modern life. So one of the things we have not seen that whatever the things inside it also we are using some antenna. So that devices is called, that types of antenna is called microstrip antenna. So why we are preferring microstrip antenna nowadays? Because it is a low cost, lightweight, easily integrated with microwave circuit, low volume and thin profile configuration, dual polarization, dual frequency antennas can be easily made. But whenever we'll see its disadvantage, it has got narrow bandwidth, lower gain, lower power handling capacity, complex fit structure. And application, it has wide application, wireless application, mobile communication, satellite application, radar application, and now coming to the point. So whenever we'll see the disadvantage of the microstrip antenna, because it is a popular antenna, and whatever the modern devices, it has required multiple band at a time. So bandwidth necessity is more. So there is a dual band antenna design requirement. If our single antenna works in two different bands, so there is no need of two different bands. As per our application necessity, we will switch the antenna from this band to that band. So that type of antenna is called reconfigurable antenna. So first we'll see, whenever we'll see design two different band of antenna, then we'll face some problem. So here we'll see. So that article is published in IIT Communication. So here we'll try to improve the gain of a lower band antenna using metamaterial structure. So that is called metamaterial inspired antenna or metamaterial based antenna. Now see, what is metamaterial? So what is the use of metamaterial? So metamaterial is an artificial composite structure which exhibits specific electromagnetic energy not observed in the constituent materials and not commonly found in nature. So it is a small metallic resonator arranged in periodically manner. So what are the advantages? Its electric permittivity and permeability are negative in the same region. It's had backward propagation and negative reflection. Maybe you people are thinking how if people can connect metamaterial or metamaterial is the things. We'll see. For normal DPS medium, if you will see electric field and magnetic field, then wave is propagated in K direction. But for double negative medium, whenever we'll see that propagation direction is changes. So that is the advantage of DNG medium. So here we'll see the wave propagation direction is changes, but other things are same. Now we'll see one scientist made perfect lens. If we'll place that metamaterial in front of any sources, then we'll see that wave is, the lens focuses all the plane waves radiated by a dipole source with no phase or amplitude distortion. So if any other material is there, it will reflect back in this or that direction, but for metamaterial, it is reflected in opposite way. If any other material is there, then it will reflect in either in this or in that direction. But for metamaterial, it is fourth quadrant. So invisibility, clock, and other things, metamaterial are used. Now we'll see what are the application of metamaterial. So application of metamaterial is the clocking device, antenna, sensor, absorber. So now we'll specially discuss about the antenna and how we can use the metamaterial to increase the gain enhancement of the antenna. First, we'll see evolution. So metamaterial started in 1968, where Besolog theoretically proposed the metamaterial have negative permittivity and permeability. Later on, Sir John Pandry in 1999 first proposed SRR structure which behaves as an artificial magnetic conductor. Later on in 2000, David Smith practically proposed composite medium having simultaneously negative permittivity and permeability using CSRR and thin wire. So later on, so many works is going on. So we are trying to impose or change the orientation of the electromagnetic signal. So here, so that is the purpose of the metamaterial. Metamaterial is used to change the direction of the electromagnetic. So that purpose we are using to antenna, and we will focus the beam in a particular direction and arrange the gain of or increase the gain of the antenna. Now, first we design a dual band antenna. So a dual band WLAN antenna we designed. So it covers the frequency of 2.47 to 2.56 and 4.8 to 6.10 gigahertz. So if you will see its frequency ranges, it's covered wide frequency, wide dual band frequency nature, which lower frequency band is work in WLAN to 2.4 gigahertz, and upper frequency we can use in 5.2 as well as 5.8 gigahertz. But the problem is, whenever we'll design this type of dual band antenna with compact manner, we'll face some problem in the gain. So here we'll see the gain in the lower band is 0.47 dB, but higher band gain is quite good. So our main motto is to improve the gain, but other performance of the antenna, frequency spectrum, radiation pattern, and other direction, other should be keep constant or similar compared to the earlier structure. And we are increasing it, want to increase the gain. So first, we designed a dual band antenna in ANSYS HFSS software. So there is a software, ANSYS high frequency structure simulator. In a BTech student also, you can, that is a free software, and there are so many designs are available in YouTube. So you can start also antenna designing using that software. So crack version is available freely. So I also designed it using ANSYS HFSS structure. So here two layers are there. Upper layer is called top patch and lower layer is green color, that is mentioned ground. So upper layer and lower layer, and those are, there are some slot we are cutting in the ground part. So to resonate the antenna in that particular frequency band. Now our main motto is improve the gain. That's why we are placing some, we will place some metamaterial in that particular point. So those are the dimension I am using to design that particular antenna, and the antenna is designed in FR4 substrate. So why we are choosing the FR4 substrate? Because it is a low cost substrate. So within the 200 or 400 rupees, we will get a sheet of 4 by 6 centimeter like that. So that's why we are choosing FR4 substrate. Now, how we can identify that antenna is working in that frequency ranges or not? So that's why we are measuring the S11 parameter. So S11 is minus 10 dB. If S11 is minus 10 dB, it means that 90% power is transmitted from the antenna and 10% power is reflected back. So our main motto should be S11 must be less than minus 10 dB. So we have seen clearly antenna 1 covering the whole ranges in lower as well as upper. So that is called the bandwidth of the antenna. So F2 minus F1 we will get 4.82 to 6.10. But we have seen whenever we will make slot in antenna 2, so that type of slot whenever we are making, then the performance is slightly affected, because in that particular region it is not working. But later on whenever we are placing metamaterial, so this region, this is not our final antenna. So we also fabricated those structure using our lab, that is I have done those work in NIT Silchar. So here we performed all those things, practically we designed. So that is the practical structure of our antenna, of basic antenna, which covering lower band as well as higher band. So now we'll see the radiation pattern of that basic antenna at 2.4 gigahertz as well as 5.2 gigahertz. So radiation pattern we have seen, that is the dipole type radiation pattern we are facing at 2.4 gigahertz and compare directional pattern in at 5.2 gigahertz. Now coming to the metamaterial point. So here we are utilizing the metamaterial to improve the lower band gain. So we found that upper band gain is near about 5 dB, but lower band gain is very low. So we try to improve the gain by introducing the metamaterial. So metamaterial structure will be shifted the antenna radiation beam in a particular direction. Now we'll see, that is the metamaterial structure. Here upper layer is top and bottom is this one. So the metamaterial has negative permittivity and permeability. So we have seen at 2.4 gigahertz that material has negative permittivity as well as permeability. Now, so next move that we are placing the metamaterial in the antenna structure. So here we place this in two different ways. So that is our conventional manner, that is 3x3 array pattern, and here we are proposed that diagonal periodic pattern, means 2, 3, 2. So that is one periodic structure 2x2, that is one periodic structure 2x2. So we are, and that is one common cell. So we are proposing a pattern that is called diagonal periodic with common cell. So 2, 3, 2 pattern. So later on we try to, in antenna C, we increase the pattern 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. So here 3x3 into 3x3 with 4 common units. So maybe some reviewer is asked that why you are using. Instead of that, if it is common ground, then what will happen? That's why we implement this one also, that is called antenna 6. And we'll try to find out its result. So after done simulation, we find that antenna 3, antenna 4, antenna 5, as well as antenna 6, covering the lower band as well as upper band. So 1 point, expect that S11, which is reflection coefficient, so that is covered. Now coming to the gain of the antenna. So here we've seen that blue color indicates the antenna 5 gain or our proposed antenna gain. So we found that our proposed antenna gain is quite good because antenna 1 gain is at 2.5, gain is near about 0.5 or 0.6 dB. But now its gain is improved up to 3.9 or 4 dB. So due to that high gain, so our motto is fulfilled. So earlier we have seen that gain is very low at particular lower band, but now antenna 5 gain is good at 4.18 dB, near about at 2.5 gigahertz. So our motto is successful. Now how the antenna is gain is improved, because we are not changing the power. If we feed the power more, then also gain is improved. But here we are not feeding the extra power. We are using some mathematical concept to changes the direction of the beam. So earlier antenna 2 or antenna 1, so the gain is, so that is 3D radiation pattern. Means if we place the antenna, then how will it will radiate it in all direction. That red color means the maximum. So there 0.47 dB is the maximum radiation in a particular Z direction or Y direction. But whenever we will see the antenna 2, antenna 3 and antenna 5, then here we will see that direction directed of the radiation beam now close to the Y direction. So directed of the radiation beam is particularly focused in a particular direction. So due to that focus or due to that in a particular direction, the number of beam is focused, so gain is improved. So here we'll see the gain is near about 4.18 dB. So, but it focuses all the beam in the particular direction. That's why its gain is improved at 2.5. So one important property is also metamaterial. We have seen at particular frequency, the metamaterial shown the negative permittivity and negative permeability. But other frequency, the metamaterial will not show the metamaterial properties. That is the beauty of metamaterial structure. Now, so whatever we have done is this pattern and what are the comparison, we have done the mathematical analysis. So unit cell representation of periodic pattern and diagonal periodic with common cell, and again we are increasing it to 2. So that is we are calculating using the green function. So here we are considering the reference unit cell is M and N value, and we have find out its green function. So what is the requirement of Green's function? Because the total electric field is radiated from antenna structure is scattered electric field part incident electric field. So green function if we will calculate it, then we'll find out at observation point how much electric field is radiated. That is directly proportional into the green function. So we find out the green function in 3x3 pattern as well as diagonal pattern with common unit cell. So we calculated those value and that point we calculate. So we find out the values of at different M and N. So M and N means M equal to 0 means this point, M equal to 1, M equal to 2. In this way we are moving. M equal to 3. So we are considering 3x3 as well as our proposed pattern. So we find out our proposed pattern is good and it enhances the gain in a particular direction in a without changing the other parameter of the antenna. Now coming to the measured result. So whatever we have done, so that is the fabricated prototype. We measured it in our lab and we found that antenna is working in lower band as well as higher band. So we measured it using vector network analyzer. So that is the measure result. We found that. So again we measured the gain value because our main motto is improve the gain. So we found that our measured gain is near about 4.6 dB or 5 dB at 2.4 and 2.5 gigahertz range. But upper band, the gain is constant. So that is the beauty of metamaterial structure. Whenever we are using that particular frequency, it is not affect the other frequency ranges. So we have seen that our S11 is also all same, it covering lower band as well as higher band. So here we will see simulated and measured results. So simulated and measured results shown good agreement between them, and as well as we'll find out its measured radiation pattern also. So radiation pattern directs means which direction the radiation is going on. So there is dipole type radiation pattern, but at particular frequency, whenever we'll see at 2.5, so here gain is here radiation pattern is directed in a particular direction. So in the earlier case, there is a dipole type radiation pattern, but here it's radiated in a particular direction. So later on, we compare with our work with some other existing work, and we found that our proposed antenna covering multiple frequency band. So 2.4, 2.5, 5.2, 5.5, 5.8 with good gain in all. So maybe you people maybe ask or maybe doubt why I not increase the things to get more. But again, the structure will increase. That's why we compare calculate up to 2, 3, 4, 3, 2 pattern. So later on, if you want to increase, gain will increase. But here power we are not changing. So gain will increase up to certain level. So maybe 4 to 4.6 or 4.8, because whatever the maximum gain, that particular direction is already achieved. So we propose a gain enhancement technique to improve the gain in a particular band of a multi-band antenna. So the importance of the work, the structure is very cost effective because we are designed using FR4 structure. And another things, the measure impedance bandwidth is also good in lower as well as upper point, that is 16.8% and upper point 17.84%. So similar pattern you can use without changing its impedance bandwidth performance to increase the. So later on, because antenna beam or beamer changes in a particular direction, so that we are understand regarding this word that antenna beam is shifted in a particular direction. So that's why later on we are using this type of structure or metamaterial structure to improve or switch the beam, antenna beam in a different direction. Because nowadays we are switching the things. If we able to rotate the beam or switch the beam in a different direction, then a particular direction, radiation performance will improve and will get the more bandwidth as per our requirement. So that's why we antenna beam focusing or tilting in a particular metamaterial structure or particular direction. So first we design, again we choose the FR4 substrate because it is a low cost substrate, but here we will get some compact antenna with 9.6 mm. So those are the overall dimension, 9.6 mm and other dimension. So we are using this particular pattern. So there is why we are using that particular pattern with partial ground structure. So if you want to get more bandwidth, then you should go, everyone should go that partial ground structure. That is a possible. Using partial ground structure, you can achieve good bandwidth. So we are also going to this structure with compact manner. So we found a different, we are analyzed those things for different substrate material because our using substrate is FR4. So we try to use, we analyze the things in different available substrate, Teflon, Tacony, RT Durate, so other substrate. And we also designed that partial ground analysis. So we found that at that particular 4.4, we are getting good bandwidth or 4.4 mm. If we increasing the things, that bandwidth also increases, means minus 10 to this minus 10, this point. So almost we'll get near about 2 gigahertz bandwidth. But our main motto is to direct the beam in a particular direction. So we are choosing that FR4 substrate which covers 4.11 to 7.84 as well as 9.33 through 10.9. Now, so we have done, we again fabricate all those things and our fabricate and measurement result shows good agreement between. And we also measured the simulated and measured gain. Now coming to the metamaterial concept. So here we are using, so earlier case we are using double negative, but here we are using, try to incorporate that split ring resonant stripo structure. So that is a known metamaterial structure. So this part, whenever we see metamaterial structure or any structure, we can represent in a equivalent circuit manner. So this part is the inductance, and this gap is for this gap we are found the capacity. So that is a resonating type. That's why we will get particular frequency f 1 by 2 pi root over L CS, where CS is the series resistance of this and this, and that is the overall inductance throughout the structure. So we found its property, permittivity and permeability. We are calculating by using this equation mu r and epsilon r, and we found that our proposed SRR is showing the negative permeability in that particular region. Now, why we are using those things? So now we are placing this type of structure in our patch layer and ground layer. Here, patch layer is that type of color, black color almost, and that ground layer we are using yellow color. So here we are mentioning that same patch color, and that is a ground layer, and in between them substrate is there. Now we are incorporated the diode structure in that split ring resonator. We are incorporated some diode. Why we are using that diode? If we will switch on the diode, then both layer is connected with each other. So no split ring resonator behavior will shown at that particular frequency. So that's why we connect the diode structure, and we are using switch on and off pattern. If we will switch on, then both structure are connected to diode, and there is current path will going on. So directly with that particular diode, so there will be no SRR or metamaterial property will be shown at that particular frequency. But if we switch off the diode, then we will get the property. So based on those things, we incorporated near about 12 diode in upper layer as well as lower layer. So now whatever we have seen, so we considered 3 different switching state. Switch state is diode 11 and 12. So switching state 1 at a time, on and off we can use. So there is 3 switching state we can use, and there is 3 different switching combination we are using. So due to that switching combination, so 8 different combination we are getting, or we are analyzed the 8 different combination. So upper layer we are considering that one switching combination, means we are switching on of D11 and D12 at a time. We are switching on D9 and D10 at a time. We are switching on D1 to D8 at a time. So whenever switch on, all diode are switching on at a particular time, switch off also at a particular time. Now see, what are the different combination? So we found its frequency spectra, and we shown that all the antenna covers our that particular 5.2 gigahertz band. So our main motto is we are tilting the particular 5.2 gigahertz band in different direction. So whenever we are tilting, so stage 1, stage 4, stage 6 and stage 8, we are showing that in that particular stage the beam is rotated in a different direction. So that is the beam rotation. So that is the same antenna, but different direction the beam is rotated by using switching combination. So here stage 1, stage 4, stage 6 and stage 8 is there. Whenever we will see the stage 8, so there is antenna is radiated in all direction with gain 2.21 dB. But whenever we will see that 2 stages, and stage 1 and stage 4, the antenna is radiated in a particular direction. So same antenna, but using the switching combination, we are not changing its structure, upper and lower pattern, but we are using some incorporated some SRR structure, and we are radiated or changes its radiation in a different direction. So now later on, so whatever we did, so there is we are fabricated in an ideal. So that is one main problem regarding this one. We are not incorporated the diode, pin diode. So we are considering only the ideal combination. and we are finding out the result. So ideal switching state, we are considering when all diode is off, so we are getting that antenna is covering that lower band as well as higher band. So that is the measurement of antenna. So we are using beam focusing technique to introduce the beam in different direction. The antenna radiator is 73% compact in size. The measured bandwidth is found near about 31.37%, and peak gain is found near about 4 dB at 5.2 gigahertz. But in our antenna, there is some issue. We are not incorporated the pin diode or any switching combination, because we are facing difficulty to incorporate the particular pin diode. So later on, we also announced that work. We are trying, our research group is working in that particular pin diode combination to make it more versatile in practical situation. So that is also one opportunity. Those are the researcher, you can do that type of work. Means using pin diode, how can you switch the beam in different direction? Because nowadays MIMO antenna with beam switching, there is a great or huge opportunity to do the work in different direction. So if you do that work in, you can switch the antenna in different direction, then that is more good, or you can use in a more versatile nature as per your necessity. Now coming to the another important application. So earlier we discussed the gain enhancement, beam tilting, whatever the recent trends on antenna beam tilting. Now another things we are doing, that is the wearable reconfigure antenna for on-body application with reduced SR. So whenever we will design the wearable antenna or on-body antenna, so there is one problem is there regarding the antenna design, that is the antenna material. So whenever we'll see the antenna material for wearable configuration, the antenna material, we can use different type of substrate, that cloth substrate, whatever we are using in our daily life, like jeans, like your cotton and any other things. So whenever you will select the jeans material permittivity, whatever we have done in our lab, it is varied from 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. So if you want to, so we are calculating, because whenever we'll see the jeans material means all different material available in market has different combination. Some part has more copper, more cotton, some has more some other jeans. So there is different combinations are available. So that's why we measured its dielectric property in our NIT Silchar lab. So we using vector network analyzer and dielectric assessment kit. So that is the dielectric assessment kit or probe. So you can measure the dielectric of the particular material by using this. So we also measured our material substrate, that is jeans, and we found its permittivity is come near around 1.6, as well as loss tangent is also 0.2. So what is the use of wearable technology in our modern life? So wearable technology we are using in military services, fire department, medical application, etc. So we can track, if any devices are mounted in our body, then we can track the movement of any military services and fire department. We can identify him. So that's why the mounting on the devices, whenever we will devise the mount, the antenna is also the important part to transmit whatever data he getted. So that's why, so whenever we'll see the antenna using a wearable counterpart, the different aspect is coming, because our body is a lossy material. So it has dielectric properties, and dielectric properties is buried in different frequency. You did not found that at particular frequency the body has dielectric some conductivity, but at different frequency the properties will become different. And another part, in body there is different bending we are seeing. So head also different bending, chest also different bending, leg also different bending, and other things, heart also different bending. So if you design antenna, but in bending and other things, it will affect your antenna devices, because lossy material will come. So that is the designer challenges in the wearable domain. So wearable domain also very small work or little work is going on. Now also it's a usable research is going on because India government also did not give permission to use those antenna in our human trials and others. But maybe after future or near future, we are using that wearable technology in most commercial way. Now we'll measure our whatever we have done that G substrate, we measured it and we find out that dielectric constant at different frequency. So we found that near about whatever I have said earlier, its ranges 1.6, 1.8 in that particular frequency. So you people also, you can use that gene substrate. Maybe you say that you don't have vector network analyzer and others, how can you measure? But if you design, if you consider in a simulation that antenna considering 1.6 or 1.7, and later on you design one antenna, if you measure that antenna at that particular frequency, if it is correct, then your whatever assumption you have taken, because there is small variation, it will not affect that much of things. So now we designed one thing in wearable, that is wearable dual band antenna design. So here also we prefer dual band and we are considering wide band because due to the body movement and others, the antenna radiation pattern as well as antenna that S11 properties will change. So that's why we choose a wide band nature. Now the simulated S parameter, which already we discussed, the S mentimeter we are using for define the bandwidth in the lower band as well as upper band. So here we found that antenna we are considering in different variation because height of we considering h equal to 1 mm, 1.5 mm and 2 mm. So we are considering 3 different layer of that 3 or 2 layer and we are analyzing in what in which layer what are the things will happen if we'll changes that P value. So actually that is P, so not P3. So that P value, whatever will changes, then whatever the changes in that. So based on this simulation, so we have done, we are considering that h equal to 2 mm and we also calculate its gain. So almost we are getting the same bandwidth, same gain, lower band as well as higher band. So there is, you can say that is 4 gigahertz, 4 dB and 5 dB, but almost that the gain is good. 5 to 6 gigahertz, we are getting 4 to 5 gigahertz. So 4 to 5 dB gain. Now coming to the radiation pattern. So here in all frequency, 1.8, 5.5, because our antenna is working in lower band as well as upper band. So we can, at all frequency, we'll get good radiation pattern, omnidirectional pattern in the particular domain. Now coming to the bending effect. So earlier we discussed that our body has different bending dimension. So here we are considering or bend the antenna in different way. So if you bend the thing, the electric field and the magnetic field associated with that antenna will be changes. So due to that bending, there is a radiated in upper as well as lower direction. So whenever the electric field will affect, so it affects the overall bandwidth of the antenna. So we analyze whatever the effect in terms of S11. So we have seen we are calculating R equal to 30, R equal to 60, R equal to 105 and R equal to 205. So if R equal to 30, bending radius is less, then band will be more. If bending radius is high, then band will be less. So whatever the effect in terms of S11, that R equal to 30 mm, we have seen that black color lines. At R equal to 30 mm, whatever our resonance. So earlier case, without bending, we see it works properly in lower as well as upper. But now due to bending, the frequency characterization of that particular antenna is shifted. So it does not cover lower as well as upper frequency. So if we'll see that if we'll increase the means radius, then we'll see that it covers almost lower as well as upper. But at high bending situation, the S11 is affected in lower as well as upper frequency. Now coming to them, so we have done bending. Now we are using the human body model. So we are using the human body model concept in our antenna. So because we are using that particular antenna for human body wearable application. So human body application or human body concept also comes in our antenna design. So human body, so this type of model for men and women, two different types as well as different head and other things are available in ANSYS, HFSS as well as CST simulation software. But the problem is whenever we'll run this type of things with associated with antenna, then we'll face the RAM is not that much sufficient to run the files. So that's why we are considering a small prototype type layer. So we are considering 4 layers. So human body consists 4 layers: skin, fat, muscle, bone. So we are considering 4 layers. So we get the properties of material at 2.45 gigahertz: permittivity, conductivity, and density, skin, fat, muscle, bone. So different permittivity, you see skin permittivity 37.95, fat permittivity 5.27, muscle permittivity 52.67, bone is 18.49. So those are the different permittivity and that particular frequency at 2.45 gigahertz. If frequency changes 5.2 or 5.8 gigahertz, then structure of this table will be changes. The value will be changes. Now we are placing our antenna in the human body. So we are considering there is a gap. So that means G, gap between the human body and antenna. Because whenever the electromagnetic field will be generated from the antenna, then there will be interaction with the human body. So due to that interaction, our human body acts as a lossy material because it's seen the permittivity is very high. So whenever it is a lossy material, it will affect your devices. So that's why we place a gap and we also analyze if we will increase or decrease the gap, what will happen. So first we'll see the simulated S parameter with on body. On body means with body. So we kept gap 1 mm, 2 mm and 3 mm. So maybe you people will ask or you people will think, if we will place, there is air substrate, how can we place in practically? So practically you can use, there was that thermocol and others, those are near about permittivity is near about to the air permittivity. So you can use that type of structure, foam structure. So here we are using without body and with body, and we found that antenna is, whenever body comes under, due to the lossy material, the bandwidth of the antenna is reduces. So you see that the 1 mm, 2 mm and 3 mm, we are getting the less bandwidth compared to that our earlier without body pattern. So that is the effect of the human body in our wearable structure. So wearable antenna, another important thing is that wearable antenna, you can design it easily by using our manual structure. So now we'll see, we'll measure the strings. So we have done these things manually, fabricated it manually. So and we measured this in BNA and we found that antenna covers lower as well as higher frequency band. So actually we want to use this antenna in human body condition. That's why we practically verified in different human body position, wrist, chest and leg position. And we found that so antenna is covering lower whenever the human body as well as bending is comes. So antenna is covering some lower band in that particular lower and upper frequency region. So that's why we need to change modify the structure and make it more good to perform in chest, wrist, leg and without body condition successively. So later on we designed another antennas and it comes successfully in lower as well as upper. But that is in under process, means in publication. That's why I have not shown this one. Later on, if it is published, if I will share with you people, or you can see in my profile also this paper. So we done wearable dual band design, but we are not calculating the SAR. SAR means specific absorption rate. So is a measure of the rate at which energy is absorbed by the human body when exposed to a radio frequency electromagnetic field. So whenever any radio frequency electromagnetic field is come, it not except and not antenna, other things also come that from radiation tower, radiated tower, not that our wearable antenna radiated. So there is some energy is absorbed by our tissue. So energy, we know that the energy whatever we are received, that is non-ionizing energy, that it will not break our molecular domains and others. But whenever we'll receive some energy, so we'll see that the energy in non-ionizing radiation, it converts that into the heat energy. So whenever heat energy, if we're speaking near about 2 hours in a mobile, then that heat energy will affect, or there is extra amount of heat is produced in the near of that places, and due to that we will face some difficulty after continuously using after 10 years or after 5 years. There is some loss of your these devices, some tissues affect and cancer and so many things. So this I will discuss in later slide, electromagnetic radiation. So now we also calculate, because whenever any antenna or some devices used for human trial or human application, then it should be follow that standard, whatever the standard given by our ministry or international standard. So that is, so earlier we have seen, so that is different design compared to similar type of design. So here we have found the SAR case. So SAR case, so to reduce the SAR, we are using some artificial magnetic conductor type of structure. So whatever the things means, whatever the energy is radiated due to our slotted is in the ground, so it radiated or it comes into our body. So in between this, if you will use some reflector type of structure, means whatever the radiation comes in back loop, if it is reflected in the opposite direction, then overall performance of the antenna is also increased, because all the things will radiated towards in a particular direction, as well as will our skin will safe, or there is no radiation will receive in that wearable design to the structure. So there is a huge opportunity to design such type of structure with reduced SAR in the wearable concept, and your work will be published. Now, whenever I mentioned that wearable antenna, we can design it in our own also manually. So keeping first 2-3 things you should keep in your mind. So whatever dimension you are using, it should be more than 0.8 or 1 mm. Then only if it is less than 0.3, 0.5 mm, then there will be phase in the manual fabrication, because there is no fabrication, direct fabrication is available in the wearable substrate. So you should do it manually. So first you choose the substrate, that is the gene substrate. Then in the HMSS file, you will find out some DXF file, or you convert it into DXF file format in PDF and take it as a printout. So add some copper layer above the substrate. Then paste the printout using Fevistick above the copper layer, and then cut the layer using our normal blade. So I will see you. So that is the substrate or gene substrate, whatever we are choosing that substrate. So we can measure the substrate by using scale. So if maybe you people will face difficulty, single layer substrate, if you will measure the scale, it will not come properly. Take it 2-3 layers and then measure it. Then measure it, there will be something will come 0.6, 0.8 or 2 mm. So then you divide it, how many layers, then we will get that, not only exact, but we will get near about that dimension or height of that particular wearable substrate. Now coming to the second things, that is copper. So that is available in Amazon also. So you can order it. So that copper, so that is like tape type. Means you can paste the copper in the wearable layer. But one problem is there, that copper dimension is 50 mm. 50 mm there, that roll dimension is 50 mm. So whenever you will use, you should keep your antenna is 50 mm, or you should check the things. So you can paste that 50 mm layer or 50 mm dimension layer. So I am talking about that dimension. So that radius near about that one, that is 50 mm. Okay. So now after pasting the layer, so using that glue stick, so you can you can paste the DXF layer. So we mentioned that DXF layer, DXF file. First you print out your substrate, that wearable layer. Upon that you paste the copper layer. So copper layer is just like that. Then you you take the printout, that is white paper printout. So you paste it. So here you make it 4 drops and paste using glue stick. Okay. So after glue stick, you cut it using the blade. and remove the other part of the couple. So before whenever you will do this process, maybe first time you will get fail or second time, but after 2-3 times you can get your not only get exact design, but you will get more good design structure. Okay, and this structure we also verified, so there is no issue coming in designing and practical. So there is small deviation, but everything is correct. So you can this way you can use the things, you can fabricate the things for measurement purpose. There are so many institute have BNA, vector network analyzer and others. If you don't found any nearby institute, you can mail me also. I can measure and send to you also. So in our institute, better facilities there, vector network analyzer. In almost NITs and IITs, those have their facility how to measure the BNA. Even some of the companies are there also, they can measure the things. So here in these things, we see the different aspect of antenna in human body application. So we'll see the bending analysis, we'll see the reconfigurability, we'll see the human body effect, and we also try to reduce the specific absorption rate or SAR. Now we'll comes to the last technique or recent trends is going on in this. There are so many other trends are also there, but MIMO antenna. So what is MIMO? So earlier, whenever we are using the antenna to increase the gain in a particular direction, we are using some gain enhancement technique or using some array number of replicate number of antennas are using more number of antenna we are using to increase its direction in a particular direction. But whenever a signal coming from source to receive, so there is multipath fading is there, means maybe it will reflected by somewhere else. So special degree of freedom that enables the multiplexing for. So to increase the bandwidth of the signal, we are using multiple input, multiple output antenna. So here, instead of one antenna, we are using 4 antenna for the same purpose. And which antenna gets better radiation, because it's so many signals are coming from source to this particular, which is so we are using that particular. So there are some other spectral multiplexing is going. So instead of one antenna, we are using 2 antenna and 2 inputs are there. So that is the MIMO antenna we designed, which covering the lower as well as upper frequency band. And we have seen in that antenna, we are making some space, that is the D. So whenever we'll use 2 antenna at a time, then one antenna radiated electric field will affect the other antenna radiated electric field. So one antenna radiated electric field will affect. So we should keep some gap in between 2 antennas. So gap in the form of whenever 2 human beings are there. So if you want to make some gap, then you can increase the distance between 2 of them. Otherwise, you can place some obstacle in between that 2 human beings. So similar like in antenna. So here 2 way you can increase the gap. So either you can increase the distance, or either to reduce the electric field, you can use some other material which works as an isolator in between that 2 antennas to improve its performance. So first, so whenever we see the antennas, that MIMO antenna 1 and 2, so antenna covers the lower band as well as higher band. But the problem is, see that the S12 performance, S12 is the S1, if what are the effect of port 1 to port 2. So whenever we'll see, there is, it should be as low as possible. So it's near about the minus 15 or minus 20, 12 dB. So we should improve its performance in lower band as well as higher band to improve the overall performance of the MIMO. So here also we are incorporated the meta structure or metamaterial structure to improve the isolation performance. We will place this structure in between these antennas to improve its isolation performance of port 1 and port 2. There is no radiated electric field will affect the things. So later on we will see the things. So we designed an wearable metamaterial. So that design, if you see, that dimension is we are taking 1 mm. So that structure is quite difficult to design. We design about 5 to 6 times, then only we will get the exact time. And there are so many small issues also happen. So whenever we'll see this structure designing, so we found that the structure is multi-band resonance capability. It's capable its lower resonance band as well as higher resonance. So whenever we'll see that permittivity and permeability, so it is negative. In particular, that two frequency band. So our main motto is to improve its performance, isolation performance in lower band as well as higher band. So we design dual band metamaterial. So first, so here we are placing some unit cell with gap G between two units. So those are the two unit cell in the top layer we are using in the patch layer, and that 3 unit cell we are placed in the ground layer. So two different combination we are using. One is upper and that, and then third one MIMO antenna 4, that is both things we are using at a time. So see what are the performance. So MIMO antenna 2, 3, 4, we have found that it covering all the frequency band minus 10 dB almost, and this also lower as well as higher frequency. But when transform, that is the reflection, when comes to the transmission coefficient, so we'll see there is an improvement in that particular 5.2, 5.8 gigahertz as well as this particular frequency of MIMO antenna 4 compared to MIMO antenna 2 and 3. There the successive increment is going on in that particular. But there is a one issue regarding these types of, whenever we'll see that metamaterial structure or mathematical type of structure, we have found that there is some problem is, there is some ambiguity is there, because we are not getting, so that is the challenges. So one parameter will get good, but here there is some problem is there. So better whenever we'll design, that is my suggestion. So whenever we'll design that type of structure, so keep it in mind, don't do the exact particular frequency, that not 2.4, you just slightly design at 2.5, then this and this will come in good. Because whenever we'll design metamaterial, resonance is 2.5 or 2.4, but the resonance band is more. So if you will coming in that particular band also, then also that reflection performance will, transmission coefficient will improve. So try to design just slightly shift, otherwise you will face problem in S11 performance. Now, what are the effects? Earlier I told that isolator. So how can we visualize this thing? That's why we draw the pattern, current pattern. So whenever we place, see that current pattern, whenever we are incorporated, so this part become, so it is coupling the current. So whenever we'll see the port isolation, so at 2.4 and 5.2 and 5.8 gigahertz compared to our earlier pattern, so we get better. So there, all the current is induced by that isolator. So no electric or less number of field is affected that particular another antenna. So later on we MIMO antenna 1 and 4. So we compare our basic antenna with this antenna. So we get, so here you can see, visualize clearly that it's covered the lower band minus 10 dB as well as upper band. But here we are getting the more benefits in transmission coefficient. So we are getting that near about isolation is improved. So it is near about 30 to 35 dB minus 18 dB and near about minus 10 dB in the lower band and upper band. And another important thing we achieved, that all the things, whatever our desert frequency, 2.4, 5.2 as well as 5.8 gigahertz we achieved. Now coming to the another parameter, that is the not coming the earlier structure, that is the MIMO parameter. This is ECC, envelope, correlation coefficient and diversity. So that is the same. How independent is one antenna to the other. If your S12 parameter is good or S11 parameter is good, in particular that ranges, then your ECC parameter and DG parameter will be good. So that is the parameter ECC, envelope correlation coefficient. We are calculating in the MIMO antenna. It should be minus 0.052. So there are basically two things we are calculating. ECC using S parameter and ECC using radiation parameter. If you are calculating using radiation parameter, then its value must be less than 0.5. But if you are calculating using S parameter, then its value must be less than 0.1. So what is the difference between these two parameters? So if the efficiency case in radiation parameter method will get more efficient, but in this ECC using S parameter will get less efficient, means efficient. If both antennas efficiency is same, near about 100%, then we'll get same type of result. But antenna efficiency is less, then we'll get there are some deviation in the result. Now that is the fabricated prototype of our design. So here we'll fabricate it near about 4-5 times, then we'll get this type of things. Maybe if we'll do the first time, that it is not able to do all those things, but if we'll try 2-3 multiple times, well, things you can fabricate the things. So later on we did it's the result and analysis, we did simulated as well as measured. We also measured using vector network analyzer, and we found that antenna shown good performance in lower as well as upper with good isolation performance. So that is the comparison. So whatever the earlier work they had done in two frequency 2.4, 15 dB and 10 dB, but in our antenna structure we get more bandwidth, near about 10 dB, 20 dB and 10 dB with good gain and less ECC. So that is our achievement we have done. So and we have seen the antenna's gain is also good, 2.5, 4.8 and 5 dB narrow. But the problem is there is this work also there is some, so that dimension is quite more, but it covers maximum frequency band with good isolation performance. That is one good matter. And other things we done all those things using low cost fabric material. Okay. And another important aspect of this work is isolation is improved in multiple frequency. Isolation is improved in lower band 2.4 as well as isolation is improved in 5.2 and 8 gigahertz. So now the last topic we are coming, that is called electromagnetic radiation. Only 2-3 slides are there. So here, whenever we see the radiation or electromagnetic radiation, there are so many radiation sources we are mentioning there. So from cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, TV, FM towers, microwave oven, etc. So electromagnetic radiation, if we'll see the cell phone radiation, every human being is constantly received around some electromagnetic from various sources in small doses. And due to that, that is the one worry about our 5G technology. You have seen in some news also in Netherlands, whenever 5G trial is going on, so many birds are died due to, because whenever we'll see the pattern of 3G or 4G, so there is a beam or antenna, there is a 360 degrees divided into 120 degree. So 3 antenna is divided in 3 direction to cover the 360. But 5G, that there is a number of antennas are used at a time to increase the band, but it is directly affected the nature. So that is one of the important crucial point. But you may be asked why government is not taking, or government is ready to take the 5G and other technology. Because government, there is electromagnetic auction, is a particular frequency auction is going on for 5G, 2G spectrum, and they earn lots of money. Apart from that, they also earn lots of money from cell phone purchase. So many crores are going on. So if you use not only good phone or good quality phone, then you are facing some problem. But if you use good quality phone, then there will be low SAR and it will be very good for you also. So that is you may be asked that received energy is very less, but we are receiving throughout the hour. Energy is power into time. So if time is increases, then it will affect. So near about 10 lakhs or 12 lakhs people are affected due to the mobile radiation every year. And we also see our research domain is also work is going on in to reduce the radiation. How can we reduce? So we are using that, reduce the SAR value. I have seen one work that is wearable. So there are so many things are going on. So but before using any phone, you should see the SAR limit and other things. And another things, you should use as low as possible, or you should use some other headphone and other things and keep it aside whenever we are sleeping to reduce the cell phone radiation effect in your life. So maybe there are so many research scholars associated with this workshop. So for them, I want to share that I have done whatever my work in within 2.5 years. 2.5 years I completed my thesis work and submitted. So before choosing this particular field, any topic, so you should know whatever the things are available in your NAR. Don't do it blindly. Means you are choosing RT Durate substrate, but cost of the substrate is near about 60,000. So best to choose the substrate choosing is very important. Another things, whenever you will design the things, is fabrication is possible or not, you should cross check out whatever the frequency ranges is available. And another things, measurement is possible or not, this is also you should check, which because we designed a antenna at near about 28 gigahertz now before 2-3 months back, but we are not able to fabricate those things. We are not getting some measurement facility, so there is so many limitation will come. So before doing the design, you should check all the things. For my suggestion, you can do 2.4, 5.2, 5.8 beam switching and other technique up to 6, because maximum instituted is measurement is available up to 13.6 gigahertz vector network analyzer. And another things you should kept in your mind, that application band. So whenever you will write any article or anything, so they will ask whatever the frequency band they will cover. It is 2.4 gigahertz WLAN, 5.2 gigahertz or 5.8 or 5.5. So first you identify all those bands, in which particular band you are working, and whatever the existing work is available in that particular, you should see. Then only you can identify the things and do your work smoothly. So those are the available software, ANSYS, HFSS, CST Microsoft Studio, as well as FRECO. So I am not aware about this software, but ANSYS, HFSS I am using, as well as CST Microsoft Studio. So you'll get better result, and simulated and measurement result also almost you will get. So those are the publication we have done last 2 or 3 years. So those are the international journals. From those journals, some of this work I described, this work also I described, and this work also. So there are some other publication also there, and there are about 17, 18 publication is going on in our group. Another 4 or 5 work is also in communicated or review, under review. So I hope everyone is enjoyed the session. I try to explain all the things, whatever the things going on. So thank you, everyone. So if any question, you can ask in chat box also.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable time with us. Actually, sir, I have not down one questions from one participant. How to find the gain in antenna, if any formula or something?
Sir, whenever we will see the gain of the antenna, so gain of the antenna, we are measuring the gain considering the isotropic antenna. In isotropic antenna, particular direction, whatever the gain, that is the comparison. So for practical purpose, there is formula is there. Practical purpose, we are using 2 antenna measurement technique. If you are available 2 antennas and you want to measure the gain, same product we are design 2, and that we are using 2 antenna measurement technique. So that is formula is there. We are sending the power, and then we are receiving the power, and how much power is received. So based on this equation, we can measure the antenna gain.
Excuse me, sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir, myself Deepak Sharma from MITRC College, Alwar. Actually, I want to ask you that the gain of the antenna is directly proportional to area of the antenna. G = 4 by A upon lambda square. That is the formula of the gain of the antenna. But when we reduce the size of the antenna, just like in case of the mobile communication, or we are going to the nanotechnology, how can we improve the gain?
So
Reducing the area.
Actually, whatever the formula is given on, so that is for microstrip antenna and others. Those are the standard formula for a particular thing. But whenever your point is valid, whenever we are trying to design the compact antenna and others things. So one of the technique I shown there. So if you compact structure, metamaterial structure we are implemented. We are also try to increase the gain. We are using artificial magnetic conductor to increase the gain in a particular direction, because those structure, if you increase the gain, then the radiated electric field or that particular direction you can increase. So that you can done using metamaterial structure or EBG structure. So they can with compact manner.
Okay, sir. One more question is that we know that the frequency independent antenna can work on the each frequency. Then why we emphasize on the particular frequency dependent antenna? We don't design the frequency independent antennas. What is the factor behind this?
So frequency dependent or frequency independent. So whenever we'll see the antenna we are designing, sir, so many things it is coming with your designing aspect. So if it is working particular frequency, then we'll see that. But whenever it comes to the reconfigurable configuration and other configuration, we try to switch the antenna in different frequency by using pin diode and others. We'll face lots of difficulties. So those works are recently going on, independent, dependents, and others. So you can find out some good research article based on those work, and you can go through those.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, there is one more question. Okay, do you think VSAT is in the future in India?
Sir, in India, regarding antenna and other things, we are very much lacking. So in our things, antenna design or research scope is more, because whenever some other companies or application companies will India based, then there are more designer we needed to design the antenna in a particular frequency bands. Again, IoT also coming, IoT and others. What about the wireless communication? So all those things, antenna is the heart of the wireless communication. Without transmitting and how you can share the things. So there is a great research scope in India subcontinent in a particular antenna domain. And those are the upcoming domain. Means it is not a changing. Means now we are using 2.5. After 5 years or 2-3 years, we are going for 28 gigahertz. So those are the very use scope. You can go through this.
Okay.
So one more question is that, sir, one more question is that in 5G communication, we are using the femtocell antenna. Is there any challenges to design this femtocell antenna for 5G communication?
Sir, not only femtocell, 5G antenna design is also a challenges. Because
What are
for
the challenges?
5G challenges is 28 gigahertz. The whenever you want, actually measurement facility is not available, sir, everywhere.
Okay.
That is the one problem. Second problem is coming. Whatever I faced, I also designed one antenna. So another one is port issue. So whatever the design port and other things, or port is used for measurement. So that port is up to 5, 6, or 12 gigahertz, specially designed. But when in 28 gigahertz, those port is not valid. So we should incorporate some port from China and other countries for purchasing that particular design that is not easily available, sir. And another problem is 5G antenna, if you see h equal to lambda by 4, size is near about less than 5 mm or 3 mm.
Yeah.
Antenna design equation. So if you, but that particular design, our BNE is also not supported, 0.2 mm, 0.1 mm. So those are the challenges, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Sir, one more question. Sir, in the human body, you show some antenna work according to the movement of the human body. So it is a microstrip antenna?
Yeah, whatever I am using, that is using microstrip antenna, sir. But you can use some other also. There are other DRA antenna research is also going on in the particular antenna domain. You can use, sir, any other antenna also. So another question is coming from, sir, is 5G technology good to humankind? So here I can say that that is not good for humankind. Not only human, other existing animals. So that is not good, because the power transmitted, it will directly affect the radiation effects. So because if you will go for only bandwidth, because 4G also if you will use properly, then also we get sufficient bandwidth. So maybe time taken, but you will get good bandwidth. So I am not thinking that 5G will be good for humankind.
Sir, myself Bitika Mahanta from Jorhat Engineering College. Hello.
You can.
Sir, so then why we are so many research activity is going on 5G technology. Means if it is not good for humankind, then why so many researchers are still working to develop that?
So those are the challenges now. So we are trying to overcome those challenges. So that mankind, how can we use it properly? So there are so many solutions they are given. So whenever 5G technology or 5G antenna, or whenever we'll see the towers, so if tower is transmitted some power. So if we decrease the range of the towers, means, and we are using multiple towers, then we can overcome those points. So those are the things research is going on 5G. But 5G technology for IoT device, we connected lots of device at a time. So that's why 5G is means upcoming necessity. Your point is good, the humankind. But in India, we are not thinking about the human. We are thinking about the technology. So in other countries, they are using,
Yes,
in
yes.
other countries, in same, if you see the normal things also, whatever the 4G towers, tower transmitted power is 30 watt. If they are 30 watt, they are transmitted more powers. So that is also directly affected our human being.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello,
Hello, sir.
hello, Dr. Saurav
वाह
Roy.
वाह तो वाह
हाँ,
तो में लेना पड़ेगा इतना क्यों
Hello, hello, hello,
माया का तो
Dr.
डेढ़ डेढ़ दो
Saurav
दो
Roy.
महीना
I
तो
am
दे
Mr.
दे
Nuruddin. I am also a PhD researcher in GTU.
माया का तो घर पे ही भीड़
I
बहुत तगड़ी
don't
लगी
have
रहे
question.
लाइन लगी
I
रहे
have
अभी कोरोना में तो कोई को घुसोगे ना आती घर में तो
yes.
sir, Rajakani, sir, some problem is there. Someone
अरे
unmuted.
बात हुआ है ना अभी टाइम कोई का नहीं ना है इनका तो अपॉइंटमेंट लेना पड़े
Yes, sir, please continue.
Okay. Some people are asking some question.
Okay. Sir, actually, one more question. The anti-radiation chip uses for the mobile, it work properly?
Anti-radiation chips uses for mobile networks. I don't know ever about those things, sir.
Okay.
I will also learn from those things in future.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time with us. And on the behalf of Gujarat Technological University, I thank you, Dr. Saurabh, sir, to spend their valuable time with us and sharing this valuable knowledge. And I also thank to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Naveen Sheth, sir, and Dr. K.M. Chair, sir, Registrar of GTU, to give an opportunity to conduct this type of the session at the GTU platform. And I am also thankful to our Director, sir, Dr. Sanjay Chauhan, sir, for guiding and suggesting to this type of the webinar. So I thank to all the participants who have joined here. I have shared the one feedback link as well as the evaluation link. So kindly fill the evaluation form. So after getting the 70%, you will get the participation certificate. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Saurabh, sir.
Thank you, sir. If anyone want to know the things, I will share my email ID and others. You can ask me if any more question is there.
Yes, sir, definitely. You can share your presentation because some of the participants are asking the presentation. So I will share the presentations to the participants.
Okay, sir. If any question, they can ask me directly also.
Okay.
Hello,
Thank you, sir.
hello,
Thank you. Hello.
hello, hello.
Hello, sir. One participant. One
Dr.
participant can ask.
Saurav Roy. You listen
Yes.
me?
Hi, I am
Uh,
listening you.
Okay, I am Musa Nuruddin from Uzbekistan. I am also a PhD researcher in GTU, Gujarat Technological University. I don't have question. I asking you and to GTU, thank you so much for organizing this webinar for us. This webinar topic is related to our research work. Thank you so much again. Thank you to Foreign Cell GTU and Forest Department, Dr. Kayur Darji, and all department. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I hope in future also we'll meet, sir.
Yes, sir, definitely, definitely.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Can I
sir.
leave?
So, yes, sir, you can leave and we are also ending the meeting here.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.